Have you ever noticed how prices keep rising, yet your salary barely seems to move? You buy groceries, fill up your tank, pay rent, and somehow the same amount of money buys less every month. Most people blame the economy or market forces. But what if I told you that inflation isn't just a natural occurrence? What if it's a carefully orchestrated tool used by governments and financial elites to quietly take your money, increase their wealth, and control the economy while most people remain unaware? Today, we're uncovering the hidden truth about inflation, how it's created, who benefits from it, and why it's one of the most powerful weapons affecting your life right now. Inflation is commonly described as prices going up, but that explanation barely scratches the surface. In reality, inflation is a hidden tax on your money. When governments print more money, the value of your savings decreases. A loaf of bread that costs $2 today could easily cost $4 in a few years. Not because bread magically doubled in value, but because the currency in your pocket lost half its purchasing power. Economists use tools like the Consumer Price Index to measure inflation, but these numbers often hide the true impact on everyday people. Housing, healthcare, and education costs may rise much faster than official reports suggest, leaving families struggling while governments claim inflation is under control. The heart of modern inflation lies with central banks, institutions like the Federal Reserve in the U.S. These banks control the money supply and can print new currency, buy government debt, and adjust interest rates. On paper, these actions are meant to stimulate the economy, but in practice, they disproportionately benefit the wealthy. When new money enters the system, it usually reaches banks, corporations, and investors first. They can use it to purchase stocks, real estate, and businesses before prices rise. By the time the average consumer feels higher prices at the grocery store or gas pump, the wealthy have already profited. This is known as the Cantillon effect, named after the 18th century economist who first observed that those closest to new money benefit the most. History offers striking examples of how inflation has been used as a hidden tool of control and wealth redistribution. Take Weimar Germany in the early 1920s. Following World War I, the government printed massive amounts of money to pay war reparations. Hyperinflation ensued. Prices doubled every few days. People carried wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy basic necessities like bread, while those who owned assets such as land or gold were largely protected. Ordinary citizens lost their life savings overnight, powerless against a system designed to quietly shift wealth. Similarly, in Zimbabwe during the early 2000s, the government printed money to fund spending and land redistribution programs. Hyperinflation reached a mind-boggling 79.6 billion% per month. Daily life became nearly impossible for ordinary citizens, yet government officials and connected elites could access foreign currency or hard assets, protecting their wealth while the public suffered. Even today, countries like Venezuela show that this pattern is not a relic of history. It's happening right now, affecting millions of lives. So why don't governments want you to know about inflation? For one, it reduces the real value of debt. If a country owes $1 trillion and prints new money, inflation makes it easier to repay that debt with cheaper currency. Second, it shifts wealth upward. Cash savings lose value, which hurts middle-class and poor households, while the wealthy who own assets like stocks or property benefit from rising prices. Third, inflation allows governments to subtly influence behavior. When people fear prices rising, they may spend quickly or borrow more, temporarily boosting economic activity but increasing dependence on financial systems. Mainstream media rarely explains these mechanisms, instead reporting small percentage increases as if inflation were merely a minor inconvenience rather than a hidden, systemic transfer of wealth. The effects of inflation are often felt before they are officially acknowledged. You may notice your grocery bills climbing faster than your paycheck, rent skyrocketing in your city, or savings in the bank losing value. Luxury goods, stocks, and commodities may rise simultaneously, enriching those who already hold assets. This hidden tax on ordinary people is not accidental. It is the design of a financial system structured to benefit the few at the expense of the many. The wealthy benefit first because they are closest to new money entering the economy. They invest in stocks, real estate, and other assets before prices surge. By the time ordinary consumers see increased costs for housing, food, and services, the rich have already secured profits. This effect can be observed globally. During periods of inflation, property owners see real estate values climb, investors see portfolio gains, and corporations enjoy higher returns, all while everyday citizens struggle to keep pace with rising living costs. Despite these challenges, there are ways to protect yourself. Investing in real assets like gold, silver, or property can help preserve wealth during inflationary periods. Diversifying your portfolio with stocks, ETFs, or inflation-protected securities like TIPS can hedge risk. Limiting excessive cash holdings is also essential, as cash loses value rapidly when money is printed. Perhaps most importantly, staying informed about central banking policies, fiscal decisions, and economic trends allows you to anticipate changes and make proactive choices. Knowledge is power. Most people suffer financial harm because they are unaware of how money is manipulated behind the scenes. Inflation also has a psychological impact. Constantly rising prices create anxiety, fear, and a sense of urgency. People spend quickly, borrow more, and save less. This manipulation is deliberate. Financial systems thrive when citizens feel insecure about their money. Understanding these mechanisms allows you to regain control and make rational decisions rather than reacting emotionally to the pressures of an invisible system. Inflation is not just a local or national problem, it has global implications. Countries with weak currencies, high debt, or corrupt governance often experience hyperinflation, leading to social unrest, mass migration, and political instability. Even in stable economies, gradual inflation erodes purchasing power over decades, quietly shifting wealth toward those who already hold financial assets. Everyone, from young adults to retirees, is affected. Recognizing inflation as a tool of control is the first step toward protecting your financial future. In conclusion, inflation is far more than a minor economic inconvenience. It is a hidden mechanism used by governments and financial elites to quietly redistribute wealth, reduce debt, and maintain control over populations. Understanding the causes, the beneficiaries, and the effects of inflation empowers you to protect yourself and your family. Ordinary citizens do not have to be victims. By learning how money is manipulated, diversifying investments, and focusing on preserving real value, you can navigate the system intelligently and retain control over your financial destiny. If this video opened your eyes, take action now. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends and family. The more people understand how inflation works and who benefits from it, the stronger we all become. Knowledge is the first step toward financial freedom, and together, we can stay ahead of a system that quietly shifts wealth away from the many to the few.